On to the 10th chapter, which is Services, Source of Strength. India's share in world's commercial services export from 3 point grew from 3% in 2015 to 4% in 2021. India's services export have remained resilient during the COVID-19 pandemic and amid current geopolitical uncertainties. Driven by higher demand for digital support and cloud services and infrastructure modernization catering to new challenges, sorry. Government intervention, it has permitted 100% foreign participation in telecommunication services through automatic route. The FDI ceiling in insurance companies was also raised from 49% to 74%. The launch of national single window system and enhancement in the FDI ceiling through automatic route. Now, looking at the trends, the hotel industry is thriving with improvement in occupancy rate, increase in average room rate, and rise in revenue per available room, which are now much nearer to the pre-pandemic level of FY20. The tourism sector is also showing signs of revival, with foreign tourist arrivals in India in FY23 growing month on month with resumption of scheduled international flights and easing of COVID-19 regulations. The real estate sector has witnessed resilient growth in the current year, with housing sales and launch of new houses surpassing in second quarter of FY23 the pre-pandemic levels of second quarter of FY20. Information Technology Business Process Management, that is IT BPM, and the e-commerce industry have been exceptionally resilient during the COVID-19 pandemic, driven by accelerated technology adoption and digital transformation. The service sector witnessed a swift rebound in FY22, owing to growing year on year at 8.4%. The improvement was driven by growth in trade, hotel, transport, storage, communication, and services related to broadcasting subsector, which bore the maximum burden of the pandemic. The contact-intensive services subsector completely recovered the pre-pandemic level and registered sequential growth of 16%, driven by release of pent-up demand, ease of mobility restriction, and near universal vaccination coverage. Trends in the high-frequency indicators, services PMI. PMI services suffered a setback due to COVID-19 and Ukraine war, but witnessed an uptick in December 2022 due to easing of retail inflation and thus reduced price pressure of inputs and raw material. Bank credit. Bank credit to the services sector has witnessed significant growth since October 2021, with improvement in vaccination coverage and recovery in the services sector. Services trade in 2022, financial and ICT services have been so far most resilient to slowing global economy, whereas construction services and container shipping fell to contraction territory. Tourism and hotel industry, as per World Tourism Barometer of the UN World Tourism Organization, international tourism showed robust performance in January-September 2022. Medical tourism, India is ranked 10th out of the top 46 countries in the world in Medical Tourism Index in FY21, released by Medical Tourism Association. Hotel industry is thriving with improvements in occupancy rate, an increase in average room rate, and a rise in revenue per available room. The occupancy rate has completely recovered to the average pre-pandemic level of 2019-20. Real estates, this sector suffered due to COVID-19 pandemic. The real estate regulation, that is RERA of 2016, played a significant role in post-pandemic rebound of the real estate sector. According to JLL's 2022 Global Real Estate Transparency Index, India's real estate market transparency is among the top 10 most improved markets globally. Supply chain disruptions. The Russia-Ukraine conflict has further affected the supply chain. It has resulted in price escalations of steel, cement, fishing material, imported chemicals and fuel, thereby increasing the overall construction cost and resulting in a rise in housing prices. Relating to investments, institutional investments have increased along with the real estate investment trust, formalization in real estate, regulatory initiatives such as Model Tenancy Act, and digitization of land registers and market data through the Dharani and Maharera platforms have helped to broaden the market and bring more formalization to the sector. Information Technology and Business Process Management industry, COVID resilience. According to NASSCOM's report, India's IT BPM industry has been exceptionally resilient during the pandemic. This is driven by increased technology spending, accelerated technology adoption, and digital transformation. Employment generation: the industry recorded nearly 10% estimated growth in direct employee pool in FY22, with highest ever net addition to its employee base. India has emerged as a global powerhouse for engineering R&D and innovation and is steadfastly committed to ushering future growth and innovation for global enterprises. Global competency centers. Many global competency centers have been incorporated in India in the last 6 years. The dominant share IT services constitute the majority share, greater than 51%. Key pillars: customer centricity, domain specific solution, a digital first talent pool, and a laser sharp focus on creating future ready solutions. Regarding e commerce, according to Global Payment Report by WorldPlay (FIS), India's e commerce market is projected to post impressive gains and grow at 18% annually through 2025. Emerging sectors like fashion, grocery, general merchandise sector would capture nearly two-thirds of the Indian e-commerce market by 2027. Increased adoption by MSMEs. MSMEs have used digital services like e-commerce, e-procurement, realizing the prospects of increased revenues and margins, improved market reach, access to new markets, and customer acquisition. Government supports. The government e-marketplace has also witnessed tremendous growth in gross merchandise value and is catching up with e-commerce giants like Amazon. GEM has taken a host of steps to onboard products of self-help group, tribal communities, artisans, weavers, and MSMEs. Digital financial services. Overall impact: digital financial services enabled by emergent technologies and innovative solutions are accelerating financial inclusion, democratizing access, and spurring the personalization of products. Growth drivers like Jan Dhan, Aadhaar Mobile, Trinity, UPI, and other regulatory frameworks. The pandemic has aided acceleration in digital adoption and provided a flip to digital financial services solutions by banks, NBFCs, insurance, as well as fintechs. India took the lead with the fintech adoption rate of 87%, substantially higher than the world average rate of 64%, as per the latest Global Fintech Adoption Index. Neobanks. Neobanking segment has also risen consistently. 75 digital banking units across 75 districts announced in the Union Budget of 2022-23. Central bank digital currency. The introduction of CBDC will also significantly boost digital financial services. CBDC is a digital form of currency notes issued by a central bank. Digital Rupee, that is the pilot project, was launched on 1st of November 2022. Digitizing documents. It has also played a pivotal role in giving further impetus to digital financial services. The digitization of documents ensures safety, online verification, improved accessibility, and fraud reduction, enhancing use for end customers and service providers. Regarding housing sectors, steps taken by the government: permission of RBI to lending institutions to grant total moratorium of 6, that is 3 plus 3 months. A moratorium is a temporary suspension of activities until further events warrant lifting of the suspension or related issues have been resolved. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Credit Linked Subsidy Scheme Urban, that is PMAY CLSS Urban. Interest subvention on loans to beneficiaries. Affordable Housing Fund created sufficient liquidity in sector for viable growth. Co-lending model. It aims to leverage the liquidity base of the banks and reach of HFCs to deliver farmer housing credit to the bottom of the pyramid. Loan guarantee scheme for COVID affected tourism sectors. Administered through the National Credit Guarantee Trustee Company, working capital personal loans are provided to households that were impacted due to COVID-19 pandemic to discharge liabilities and restart businesses. Making India an attractive tourist destination. Register accommodation units in the country in Ministry's portal, National Integrated Database of Hospitality Industries. SATHI, that is System for Assessment, Awareness and Training for Hospitality Industry, was launched in association with Quality Council of India to restrict any further transmission of virus while providing accommodation. RCS Udan 3, better connectivity is critical component for flourishing tourism in any region. With this objective, the Regional Connectivity Scheme LGSCATSS under the Loan Guarantee Scheme for COVID affected tourism service sector administered through the National Credit Guarantee Trustee Company. Working capital personal loans are provided to households that were impacted due to COVID-19 pandemic to discharge liabilities and restart businesses. That'll be it for this chapter.